Okay, here we go. This story is probably the more musical of the ones that I do, and it is also one of the ones where a lot of these stories are about friends, about these people who I had a chance to know for multiple years at times through high school. Um, but one of the things that fundamentally, of course, changes everything is choir. And um, as I mentioned in the first part, I am a wallflower. I am shy. I am embarrassingly short. And all of that changes with this story. So, the me for 6 or 7 months before this story and the me afterward is all because of this. And it is something that would peek its head from time to time afterward. And it is just, again, one of those things that is just sunk in my brain. So here we go. About 25 or 30 miles southeast of Baccaloo. The night of the spring concert, Mr. Ludwig asked me to be there a little early. We had a surprise for everyone, and when I got there, he took me to the backstage dressing room that the drama department had used for plays. He opened the closet, and inside was a sailor suit, and he handed me a sailor hat. I want you to try it on. I hope it fits well, and if it doesn't, we'll just do what we can. I want you to sing the first two songs with the choir, and then for the third song, just jump down and walk off. Get changed, wait backstage, and once the third song is done and the clapping is over, walk out and go straight to the mic. It's all you from there. Okay, got it, I said, eyeing the suit. Nervous? He asked. I don't think so, I responded. It's okay to be nervous, Matt. Go out and have fun, okay? It's all about going out there and having fun, he said supportively. I always have fun out there, I said. I know, but now they get to see it, Mr. Ludwig said with a grin as I took the sailor suit out of the closet. Mr. Ludwig walked out and I started to change. I got the pants and shirt barely on before the door opened, and as it swung open, Kate, Kristen, Emily, and Jeremy were on the other side of the door, and they all immediately burst out into laughter. Oh my God, Kate said. Holy shit, Jeremy added. You know, you weren't supposed to see this yet, I responded, grinning. Let me finish getting ready. There were some smiles and lamentations that no one had a camera, but with a wave and a good luck, they walked out. I tried on the scarf, put on the shoes, and stared at the hat. The costume fit perfectly. I felt transformed into someone not exactly me, but still me. In the words of Sam Beckett from the show Quantum Leap, as he realizes he's in a new identity, all I could think was, oh boy. The concert was all a blur. I don't know if I could, in good conscience, remember anything outside of Chorale. While we sang, Emily, Kristen, Jeremy, and Kate would look at me, and it felt like Mr. Ludwig could see it. When the second song was over, he gave me a look and a nod, and I hopped down off the riser and walked across the stage and out of sight. I rushed backstage and into the changing room, eschewing my concert attire and stepping into the pants. I threw the shirt on, then the scarf, tied my shoes, looked into the mirror before staring at the hat on the table. I hadn't even told my parents about this, so all they did was see me walk off stage in a hurry. I let out a deep breath and I laughed. I was so used to singing for myself. I was a performer, but only in my mind. But this was going to be very public and very, well, solo. I put the hat on immediately and I knew I was ready. There were no nerves, there were no second thoughts. I loved choir, and I knew this would be entertaining at best. Really entertaining at its worst. I took another deep breath, opened the door, and walked out of the changing room and into the backstage area. And I walked into the one thing I hadn't even thought of preparing for: a crowd of 20 plus teenage girls, upper class girls, 20 plus upper class choir girls. You see, Shantae was backstage getting ready to go on after chorale, and my 14-year-old awkward and sailor dressed ass walked right into them. "Aww!" came a quiet roar from all of them. I stopped for a second because I did not see that reaction coming. I wanted to soak it up for a second. "He's so cute," came one voice. And now, with an even bigger boost to my confidence now, I made my way through Shantae and off stage, peeking out behind a curtain. "You'll do great," I heard a whisper. The third song was over, the applause was dying down, chorale adjusted on stage, as they had some small choreography to go with the song, some hand gestures, and a body roll during the chorus. Mr. Ludwig turned and caught my eye. He dropped his head and laughed, because he hadn't seen me in the costume yet, and I let out my own laugh in return. I cleared my throat, walked on stage, and looked straight at chorale, and there was a laugh. I looked at the crowd, same response. This could very well turn into a joke, and I knew it, but I also trusted Mr. Ludwig. He had always had a way of injecting humor into the concerts, and it was always in good spirits. If this was going to be a joke, I'd at least be in on it and make it the best one I could. The advanced choir a cappella members were in the front row, and all I could do was nod as they laughed. Having seen them be part of some fun that Mr. Ludwig had put together, I got the feeling they now got a chance to see the freshmen in action, and why not have a laugh at the short guy in sailor suit? They knew Mr. Ludwig was up to something, and I could feel myself absorb everything, every laugh and smile, and I gave my friends on stage one more grin. The microphone was off right of center, and Mr. Ludwig started the song. The choir would sing the chorus, but I knew as I stepped up to the microphone, I was all alone for everything else. Well, me and my pint-sized alter ego, Jack. "'Twas 25 or 30 years since Jack first saw the light. He came into this world of woe one dark and stormy night. He was born on board his father's ship as she was lying to, 'bout 25 or 30 miles southeast of Bacaloo. Oh, Jack was every inch a sailor, 25 years a whaler. Jack was every inch a sailor. He was born upon the bright blue sea. When Jack grew up to be a man, he went to Labrador. He fished in Indian Harbor where his father fished before. On his returning in the fog, he met a heavy gale, and Jack was swept into the sea and swallowed by a whale. Oh, Jack was every inch a sailor, 25 years a whaler. Jack was every inch a sailor. He was born upon the bright blue sea. Oh, the whale went straight for Baffin Bay, about 90 knots an hour, and every time he'd blow a spray, he'd send it in a shower. Oh, now says Jack unto himself, I must see what he's about. He caught the whale all by the tail and turned him inside out. Oh, Jack was every inch a sailor, 25 years a whaler. Jack was every inch a sailor. He was born upon the bright blue sea. When the song ended, I leapt into the air and clicked my heels together. When I landed, I saluted the audience. The roar that came from the front row a cappella members was the first thing I heard. followed by the rest of the audience. I was shocked to see a few of a cappella members standing to clap. And I turned to Mr. Ludwig, who had his arm outstretched at me, the gesture toward a soloist, and the credit they should take. I gave a short, quick bow and walked off, passing the corral, got a high five from Mr. Ludwig, and backstage past Shantae, who were all clapping. I changed backstage and then went out to join choir or to join chorale afterwards, sitting next to Emily and Kristen. The laughs had been replaced by applause. The adrenaline left. The concert came to an end powerfully with an a cappella set, and the character of Jack would become a bit of a choir legend afterward. And it would be something I would be remembered for, which is what a performer does hope for. While I know video of it exists somewhere, as Mr. Ludwig would have concerts recorded for us to watch performances later, I've only ever seen it once, the day after. So somewhere out there, Jack very well could be living on, though he has long since hung up his suit after it was returned to wherever Mr. Ludwig rented it. But the hat, I've kept the hat ever since. We'll send him cheesy movies, the worst we can find. April 23rd, 1999 was my 15th birthday, and I spent the day like any other, which also means for choir that you would end up getting sung happy birthday, and it was always good fun. As the day came to a close, though, Kate caught me in the hallway. Matt, can you help me with something? She asked, running up to me. Yeah, sure, I've got a little bit of time. What's up? It's for a class assignment. It's just an interview. We're supposed to interview someone about something they've done, and I want to interview about being Jack. Oh, yeah, fire away. Kate asked me what I felt about getting to do a solo, how I felt about the costume, what it felt like to practice. I talked about how fun it was, how doing it meant a lot to me, but how funny I thought everyone's reaction was to it. I talked about the body roll to sailor that the choir did, or how I liked to make everyone laugh while wearing the costume. Kate scribbled down my answers and kept looking at her watch. She slammed the notebook closed and smiled. Great, perfect. I'll clean this up. Thanks again, Matt, she exclaimed. Kate ran off, and I grabbed my backpack, headed through the school and towards home. As I got there and turned in between a few of the buildings, I saw my dad out on the patio. He waved to me, and I waved back. Oh, let me check the door. Sarah might have locked it behind her when she came in. One sec, kid, he said, disappearing into the house. I heard the lock click and walked in, and when I did, I got hit with a very loud surprise. I dropped my backpack and saw Emily, Jessica, and a room full of my female friends pop out from behind chairs, tables, counters, and the couch. There were balloons, a cake, and popcorn. Wait, I began. Kate kept you just long enough, Emily said, smiling. Oh, I said as it all came together. This is amazing. Thanks, everybody. Emily turned on the TV, and the opening of Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie, started, and we all settled in. Emily and Jessica sat on each side of me, and my parents couldn't stop smiling, seemingly amused by the fact their son had so many female friends willing to do this for him. This was also a sign of things to come, as watching MST3K would be something Emily and I would revisit doing for years together. And when everyone was ready to go, we all walked to the school where their parents were there to pick them up. During the walk, I spent a lot of time talking with Emily, and we laughed over one-liners in the movie, and we both talked about spending time together over summer, more movie days, and keeping in touch, allowing our friendship to grow. It also didn't hurt that my crush on her was still in full effect, and while we walked, I had a quiet moment in which I took the chance divulging it to her. And while not returned in a romantic way, I could sense it had no adverse effect on us being friends going forward. When we reached the school, I gave each girl a hug and thanked them, Emily being the last one to leave, and her mom wished me a happy birthday as Emily got in the car. She waved as she left, and Jessica and I walked back to the apartment. Okay, you put that together, didn't you? I asked. It was a joint effort, she responded, but but Emily brought the movie. She said you'd love it. Oh, that was perfect. And a house full of girls, including your crush. Jessica nudged me with her shoulder. She knew, of course she did. Doesn't get any better than that. No, it doesn't, I said, smiling. Thank you, Jess. But I bet my dad's going to be asking me some questions. And with that, we wrap up another batch of reading. And a fun note is this very next chapter, lined up for the next video, is the introduction of the best friend that I could make. And the beginning of what a chosen family could look like. Anyway, that's the spoiler for the teaser, I guess. I still don't believe I remember the choir choreography to that Sailor song. But once a choir kid, always a choir kid. All right, everybody. As always, take care of yourself. Be good to yourself. Come sail away and keep on rolling.